Hello everybody, Hellcracks here, and welcome to another Mercenary Thoughts from the Inner Sphere episode, 355? And the big series that's been going on for years now. And today we're going to be talking about the Zorya. Zorya? Or Zorya? It's kind of interesting how to say that. Not sure. Light tank. It's 35 tons. It's a 4-6 moving clan vehicle. Well, it's leftovers from the Succession Wars, or early years before the Succession Wars. It harkens back to the old designs. Has an internal combustion engine. That's why it's only a 4-6. It has 3.5 tons of standard armor. Yeah, we're talking bog standard, just not even the kitchen sink kind of equipment here. For 56 points, enough to keep the crew from falling out. It has some interesting weapons. It does have an LBX-5 autocannon with 2 tons of ammunition and a turret. It has an LRM-10 with, what was that? An Artemis fire control and a ton of ammunition in the turret. Well, obviously the Artemis is in the missile system is in the turret and the body. Well, the ammo's in the body. Okay, let's get this straight. And then we have an ECM suite for 1 ton to keep it safe. I guess that's the intention of it. Yeah, it's like you're in the era of when you start running around against clan vehicles with a clan vehicle versus clan mechs. Yeah, your life expectancy is pretty short because, let me tell you, even a light to medium clan mech will make short work of this thing in one shot. You know, it's like, oh, let's just give her some couple good hits. We got that large pulse laser, we got that ERPPC, and voila, it's done. Done dinner. Yeah, it's nothing one of those vehicles that you really write home about, and you're very seldom ever going to see one of these on the tabletop as a, oh yeah, oh my gosh, they got a Zorya Light Tank. Oh, we must run for the hill. No, you're not going to care. It's like, let's go kill that thing and move on to the next target. That's a one-shot thing. Yeah, it's kind of interesting though, is that I just see this as a vehicle that is a convoy escort type thing. It's like you're moving supplies from one area to the other, and you need something that's cheap, inexpensive to just kind of watch over your stuff. That's it. You know, pretty much in a nutshell. An LRM-10 and an LBX-5 is not really going to put fear into about anything. Now, maybe a VTOL or two, it might cause some problems for it for a turn or two, you know, with that LBX cannon. But to be honest, no, it's one of those vehicles that it's not even a second line vehicle. It's a third line vehicle or so, because if it sees frontline duty, that means that other clan raiders or other type of Inner Sphere raiders have made it through the front lines, and they're rampaging through the backfield, causing problems. Yeah. So yeah, it's not one of those ones that you're gonna see too often. You know, just with the way it is. Now, yes, you do have some decent range. You know, you got the LBX 5 with range 24, I think it is, with it. And you got 2 tons of ammunition, so yeah, you're roughly going to be running some cluster munitions and solid. But to be honest, I would probably be using cluster munitions most of the time for as short-lived as it's going to be, and just be praying that you're going to get some crits, you know, from your probably 3 points of hits that you're going to do on an average. Yeah, it's not going to be exciting too much. So yeah, that's pretty much in a nutshell. That's how I envision it. It's like, yes, if you have it what is the battle value? This is what, 560. So it's not overly expensive. So if by chance you decide to throw it into some games where you got lots of mechs on the board and you want to throw in a few extra points here and there, well, let's throw a few of these on the tabletop and just see what the heck happens. Other than, watch them get exploded. So you're going to be spending a lot of your time at long range with this thing. With 3.5 tons of standard armor, you only got on the front 15 points. Yeah. And let's see, your turret has 14. One PPC, clan or PPC, will rip all of your armor off. And if it hits the turret, it's inside already and having potential for doing a crit. So yeah, it's not one of those vehicles that you're going to be wanting to get really close with. So when you have the capability of kind of doing some standoff with it, and if the other side is spending a lot of time throwing VTOLs or hovercraft on the table, you might find this one useful, maybe. Because, with cluster munitions, you got a good chance of doing motive hits against hovercraft, especially when you got the modifier, when it comes to on the motive chart against hovercraft and VTOL. So, yeah, it's possibly be useful for that role. And doing the old shotgun effect on them. And if you're running a couple of them and you hit with both, okay. And then typically if you do hit by chance with the LRM-10 with Artemis, yeah, you're still roughly going to be 6-8 points of damage. So you're going to be doing a 5 and a 1 or 5 and a 3 type of hits typically on an average. So against vehicles, yeah, okay, you're hoping for motive hits. That's it. Slowing stuff down, allowing your other clan mechs to make short work of them afterwards, the next turn or so. So that's kind of like how I envision the Zorya. Now there is a couple other variants of this vehicle. Let me bring it up here. See, there's the ammo version. This one was introduced in the Succession Wars. It drops the Artemis fire control, increase the ammunition for the LBX. And basically, I guess, like I said, it was like having 2 tons of LBX. So now you get 40 shots. Really, seriously, who envisions ever seeing one of these vehicles lasting more than 20 turns, 10 turns, 5 turns? Yeah. Giving it 40 shots of LBX or even solid shot, yeah, it's like you're not really doing much in the name of anything. And additionally, okay, here's another thing. The armor has been increased on the front and the sides, so they gave you an extra ton. So yeah, now your battle value is up to 570. So just a tad bit more. Now, if you would give this thing some ferrofibrous armor, yeah, you would increase it. You do a better job of increasing it by giving it ferrofibrous armor instead. They'd kick it up to 60 something. So instead of what, 56. So yeah, it's a little bit increase. It needs it. Then there's the ATM version. All right, this one drops the LRM launcher in favor of an ATM-6 with 20 rounds of ammunition. And internal combustion engine has been dropped for a fuel cell, so you're saving a little bit of weight. And you increase the speed, and it's now 5.8. Becomes 690 battle value. All right, so you're increasing the battle value and increasing the speed. So that's one thing to look at. Now, I did look at it. Now, this one here, you doing some more long-range extended ATM 6s, for your ammunition. and maybe some SRM possible. You know, it's hard to say at what direction to go with this when it comes to the ATMs. So, you know, to be honest, when you look at it, it's like going with the ATM 6. And they said they got 2 tons, 3 tons of ammunition. Yeah, probably go with 2 extended, and then maybe one of your standard, you know, SRM style, just for when something gets in close, because you don't want this thing to get in. You definitely don't want it to get in close at all, because like I said, anything with a medium pulse laser and a heavy pulse laser will probably kill it. And it's like, yeah, you don't want to get this thing too close. So there. That's just how I look at it. Now, I did a little quick look at is that if you take the standard version and gave it a fusion engine and ferrofibrous armor, you could kick it up to a 5.8 moving vehicle, and everything's still the same, and you would give it the ferrofibrous armor. Yeah, you're going to lose a half a ton of ferrofibrous armor, but you keep the armor value the same. So maybe being a 5.8 might make it a little bit more useful for escort duty and getting around and moving. Now it's like, but being a 4.6 in the clan era, that's just a death sentence. That's how I just look at it. It's like, yeah, you're not going to have much fun with this one. Other than you want it to be a standoff support vehicle. It's like not trying to shoot down vehicles. But the problem is, if you're trying to hit VTOLs or hovercraft at long range, your odds of hitting are extremely low. Because you're probably going to have a 4.5 or a 4.4 crew on board this thing, and the odds of them hitting at long range are pretty low against those type of vehicles, and that's kind of like what it's designed to do. It's you know, you're going to have problems with it. So it's not really an overly great design. It's like, to be honest, I can't really recommend ever really even thinking about putting it on the table. Which might explain why I don't own one, because I just look at it and go, no, in the clan era, it's not even worth bothering with, to be honest. But if you do, if you want to throw them on there and do some clan campaigns where you're doing some escort duty or something of that nature, or hitting convoys, clan convoys, hey, give it a shot. Get her a play and see what happens. See what sticks to the wall. All right. So that's it. That's the Zorya Light Tank in a nutshell. All right. Hope you guys like it. Like and subscribe, share with your friends, and we'll see you in the next one. Cracks out.